Can you name me one Avatar whose legacy was properly remembered by the general public of the Avatar universe? Avatar Yang Chen was viewed as one of the greatest Avatars who had ever lived. Her legacy was held in such high regard that they used her name the same way that we would use God's name when we say like, oh my God, or God forbid. But despite the public viewing her as a nearly perfect Avatar, the reality was she did have failures. She was so focused on fixing problems within the human world that she completely neglected the spirit world, which led to a complete imbalance that the next Avatar had to fix. This failure put many people's lives in danger and also made the next Avatar's job incredibly difficult. The public thought she was perfect, but she actually had failures that led to the major problems for the next generation. And because Yang Chen had failed in this regard, the next Avatar, Avatar Kuruk, was forced to clean up her mess. He did not live very long for an Avatar, but the reason for that is he died cleaning up Yang Chen's messes. The general public viewed him as a failure because he didn't live very long for an Avatar. He didn't accomplish many things for the material world. But their perception of him was incorrect because in reality, while they think that he was just a lazy showboat Avatar, he was actually sacrificing himself and his well-being to the point that his life was cut short, defending them from dangerous spirits that they didn't even know were putting them in danger. There's an entire town that thinks Kyoshi and the Avatar as a whole is a monster because she had taken out their leader, but their history fails to remember that their leader was an evil despot that was putting many people in danger for his own selfish gain. But on the flip side, she's given credit for the creation of the Dai Li, which wound up being an organization that betrayed the Earth Kingdom and participated in a coup to put them in the hands of the Fire Nation. People remember Roku as just mysteriously disappearing after the Fire Nation rose up. But the reality is he was there for the entirety of its formation. He just didn't realize it was forming under his nose, and also gave his best friend way too much leeway. I'm sorry. People correctly remember Aang for ending the 100-year war and bringing in a new era of peace for the world after defeating the Fire Nation. And that's an insane accomplishment. I'm not trying to diminish that, but people tend to also gloss over the fact that he built a city that was immediately filled with corruption. And while he did wind up saving the Earth Kingdom from the people that corruptly overthrew it, you do have to admit that a lot of the problems the Earth Kingdom had in his lifetime still existed in Korra's lifetime. Now, the point of this video isn't to discount any Avatar's failures or overhype them. What I'm trying to get across to you is that no Avatar really has a completely clean-cut history that is correctly remembered by the people. Over time, each Avatar's legacy is muddled. And because of that, the public perception of the Avatar is very rarely completely accurate to what their life and their legacy really was. So if you could believe that's true for every other Avatar that I mentioned in this list, why would you think that Korra's legacy is being correctly remembered in the upcoming show? Korra's legacy is as the Destroyer, as the person who led to the end of humanity. But no Avatar's legacy ever really winds up being completely accurate to the reality. So maybe let's wait and see what happens in the show before we all start celebrating and saying, yeah, we finally have proof that she's the worst Avatar ever. Because I highly doubt that this is the one time that the public perception of the Avatar is completely correct. In reality, I think we're going to find out that a lot of that Korra hate is unjustified.